Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I am answering that age-old skincare question. How many steps should I have in my skincare routine? I'm going to be breaking it apart and looking at the factors that determine how many steps you might want to incorporate in your own routine. We're going to work out how many is too many when it comes to skincare steps. And of course, we're going to look and see if you can get away with really great results from just 2 or 3 products. So if you want to know how to perfect your skincare routine, keep on watching. The reason I wanted to film this video now is I did a little Google search. I always like to look on Google to see what are the most frequently asked questions so they can address them in videos. Well, I did that search, and once you get past all of the search queries relating to Megan Markle, you actually get to one of the most common skincare questions, which is how much is too much when it comes to active ingredients in your skincare routine. So let's pick it apart today and have a look. I ran a recent poll on this channel asking you guys how many products you had in your own skincare routine, and I was blown away by the response. 3,000 of you kindly took part, so thank you to every single one of you that did. And the majority, 63%, said they had between 4 and 9 products in their skincare routine. I guess I kind of expected that. You know, on this channel, we tend to be a little bit more enthusiastic about skincare, maybe a bit more geeky, a bit more collectors of skincare, let's just put it that way, and we might have more steps in our routine than the average. But 35% of people said they kept it to 3 products or fewer in their own skincare routine. We're going to come on to how effective a minimal routine can be later on in the video. I want to give a big shout out to the 2% like me that have 10 plus products in their routine. I know we're a small group of people, but for those hardcore fans of skincare, I'm sending out a big shout out and lots of love. So let's start with the basics. And I think every single person, without exception, need 2 steps in their skincare routine. That's a cleansing step and an SPF step. The SPF is a no-brainer. We all need to protect our skin from the harmful rays of the sun. Doesn't matter if you live in the dreariest, dankest, darkest place on earth, you still need to use an SPF. It's super important that we choose an SPF which matches our skin type. If you're super dry, go for something that's hydrating. If you're like me, you're super oily, go for one that's more mattifying and will prevent that excess oil pooling over the day. I actually keep it simple. I pulled together my favorite verified, tried and tested SPFs in a video, which I'll leave a link to up there. Check that out because there's a price point for everyone and there's one that'll work with every single skin type. So if you're still struggling to find your perfect SPF match, check that video out and hopefully it'll give you a little inspiration. Beyond that, I think it's super important to have a cleansing step in your routine. Now, we all assume cleansing has to be super bougie. It has to be a 2-step, has to be using your favorite Korean cleanser. It really doesn't. Cleansing could just be splashing your face with water. On a morning, I tend to just splash my face to refresh everything and get rid of that top layer of sweat which might have built up as I've been sleeping. On an evening, I tend to go for a more robust cleanse to get rid of the SPF, the built-up dirt, debris and pollution. You have to work out what works for your skin type, but I do think whether it's a splash with water or the most luxurious oil cleanser massaged into the skin for 20 minutes, whatever you want to do, I do think it's equally important to have that cleansing step in your routine. So we've nailed the basics. We've got our 2-step minimum routine and we'll work out what we want to add from there. And I think there's a couple of things you want to consider when you're thinking about how many steps to have in your skincare routine. First of all is the level of sensitivity in your skin. This is crucial. How reactive is your skin and how sensitive is your skin? The reason I call this out because the more products you have, all products contain ingredients and each ingredient has a risk of sensitivity or a reaction to it. If your skin is super reactive, if you're allergic to quite a number of things and maybe you're prone to redness, sensitivity and irritation, I'd recommend keeping your routine to a minimum because every single product that you put into it has ingredients which could interact with the skin. They could also accumulate, and ingredients in one product might be similar to an ingredient in another, and that accumulation could then trigger that sensitivity reaction. So I think if you have super sensitive skin, minimize the amount of change in your routine. So don't constantly swap up products. Keep with the products you know work well with your skin and you don't react to, and keep it as minimal as possible. You know, include some products to tackle that sensitivity and irritation, but don't overload it. If you have sensitive skin, I wouldn't be recommending you join me in the 10 plus product club. I think sometimes it can be beneficial to keep things to a minimum. If, like me, have very robust skin, you tend not to be irritated by products and ingredients, and you don't have irritation and flare-ups, I think the world is your oyster. You can go for a more elaborate skincare routine. But I think it's really important that the first step in working out how many steps you should have in your routine is working out the level of skin sensitivity and matching that to the number of products you choose to use. Second of all, comes down to time and budget. I think these are things that we actually forget when it comes to skincare. We go out for the latest trend, we pick up that must-have viral product, and we never actually think, do I have time to incorporate this in my skincare routine? On a morning, and I always think use your morning routine as the example, because on a morning we're always at our busiest. You know, you're trying to get the kids ready for school, you might be getting yourself ready for work, you're trying to get your lunch together, maybe you're just running a few errands and trying to get your day started. We're always busiest on a morning, and so this is the one that I think becomes the most time constricting. So work out how many minutes you actually have on the average morning to commit to a skincare routine, and then work on the assumption that each product within that routine is going to take 60 seconds to apply. That will allow for you to apply the product properly, give it a little bit of a chance to sink in before you then put your next product on top. That 60-second rule is a guide. Obviously it does change a little bit, but it's the one I usually say to people to work out how long your skincare routine is going to take. My routine has around 12 products in, so it takes between 12 and 15 minutes, which I have spare on a morning so I can commit to it. Routines work best when they're done time and time again, so don't commit to something that you're not going to be able to do every single day. Piece together a routine which fits your budget, because each product costs a certain amount of dollar, and also one that meets your time commitment. Another thing you're going to want to consider is what your main skin concern is and how difficult that is to treat. We all know, anyone who's suffered with hyperpigmentation knows how difficult it is to treat and eradicate. So that's going to take more products than, say, blackheads, which can usually be treated with a standalone salicylic acid treatment. So for those things that are more stubborn to treat and take longer to treat, such as hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, that's going to take more steps in the routine to deal with than something that's a little more simple and quicker to treat. So of course, if you are tackling something that's deep set and been in your skin for quite some time, you're going to want to incorporate more products into your routine to tackle them a little bit more quickly, and of course to get those better results. I pulled together a routine for hyperpigmentation if that's your key concern, which I'll leave a link to up there, so you can check that out if you want to explore a few products you might want to consider. If it's a more low-level issue that you think is going to be quicker to treat, of course you can get away with a fewer products in your routine and still get some great results. Now we're going to come on to that luxury element, the things that you don't need in your life but are nice to have. This is what I fall foul to all the time, and why my skincare routine is much larger than the average person's. Once you've got your basic skincare routine nailed, you've got your cleanse, you've got your SPF, you've added some serums and things into your life to tackle the things that you want to tackle, your key concerns, then it's time to add the luxury. I am a sucker for an added benefit. You know, I love an eye gel patch. I love to use something like my azelaic acid, because I think I get some great results from that. I love to use some massage tools, some nice oils to do facial massage. All of that is extra steps. It takes extra time, it costs extra money. And these are the things that you don't actually need in your life. However, if you are somebody that does want to splurge a little bit more, spend a little bit more on treating yourself. If skincare is your luxury and your treat, and you see it as part of your self-care routine, and you have the time and the money to commit to it, this is the point at which you want to add a few luxuries. I always say do what works for you. Don't be ashamed of adding a few bougie products. Maybe you're not sure it's giving you great results, but you love the sensation of using the product and you enjoy using it. Keep on using it. I would say you do you. Never cut something out to the bare bones just because you think you don't need it, or someone's told you don't need it in your life. If you enjoy it, I think it's all part of that skincare experience, and it should be enjoyable. So this is the point at which you can add luxuries if it meets your price point and your time commitment. So there you kind of have it, guys. These are the steps I go through when you're piecing together how many skincare steps and products you need in your routine. So to summarize, how many steps do we actually need in our skincare routine? Well, I think it varies dependent on what you want to get out of the routine and what your skin's types and needs are. However, at a basis, I think everyone needs a 3-step routine. That's a cleanse and an SPF. That's going to protect the skin and prep the skin, keeping it clean. I also would always encourage people to add at least one serum sandwiched between the two of them that tackles your skin's key concern. Have a look at your skin and work out what is damaging your self-confidence the most and what you'd like to change the most, and then pick an active ingredient in a serum which is going to help tackle that. Over time, you'll get some great results, and it's just going to be increasing the overall benefit you can get from your skincare routine. Beyond that basic 3-step routine, which I always say, sometimes the most simple routines done frequently can be the best, and so absolutely a 3-step routine can deliver fantastic results. Beyond that, the world is your oyster. Just make sure that you choose the right steps in your routine to take account of your time, your budget, your level of skin sensitivity, and what you want to get out of your routine in terms of bougie and luxury extras. Hopefully you found this video interesting. Leave me a comment below and let me know how many steps you have in your skincare routine. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you're staying safe and well. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Take care. Bye.